morning everyone. My name is Mart Anthony Era de la Punta. I will discuss about technology utilization. But before we proceed, I will show the objective of this presentation. The first objective is identify the different principles of technology utilization. And the second one is appreciate the different principles of technology utilization in teaching and learning setting. And last, apply the different principles of technology utilization in the teaching and learning setting. But after we proceed to the topic, I have motivational activities which called guessing game. I will show the jumbo letter, then you will guess the jumbo letter that are related in our topic. So let's start. The first one is text, and the second one technology, and the third media, and last instruction. That's the jumbo letter are related in our topic for this day. So let's start. The first one is, what is technology utilization? This refers to the proficiency in applying technological resources to achieve instructional goals in a given teaching learning situation. So next, as a fact, technology utilization in a classroom is now being used in school for different learning activities. Today, many of teachers have taken to issuing exam papers, results, reading materials, and other evaluation or learning equipment online. So, yun na. Next, principle of effective instruction. As a classroom teacher, your role is to establish learning environment that fosters the defined outcomes for your learners. At the other times, those outcomes may be based on local or national learning standards. At other times, they may be based on the negotiated outcomes with your individual learners. Whichever direction you take, you need to think continually about how to engage your student in the learning process. So, nandun na rin yung meaning. So, next, as educators, continually seeking ways to improve our practice, it is important to consider how to engage learners in their learning, because one common feature across all classroom settings is the variety of learning levels and needs among students. Teacher needs to become skilled at differentiating instruction to ensure that all learners are challenged adequately and appropriate in their learning. The following principles of effective instruction have evolved from a variety of resources. The first evolved variety resources are assess prior knowledge. Assess prior knowledge is before you can properly provide instruction, you should gather relevant information about each student, knowledge, and skill level. You need to know what knowledge your student already have learned. To learn from most materials and activities, students must possess prerequisite knowledge and skills. So, nandito na, sabi dito na kailangan mong malaman yung mga bagay na alam na ng mga estudyante mo na bago pa ituro. Parang advance na sila. Then, ayun lang. So, number 2, consider individual differences. Learners vary in terms of personality, general aptitude, knowledge of subject, and many other factors. Be aware of the multiple and learning needs of your students. For, for example, whether a language other than English is spoken in a child home, you need to consider the technology and the media experiences your students have had and what resources are essential to help your student learn. Effective instruction allows individual to progress at a different rate, cover different materials, and even participate in the different activities. So, paano ito? Yung katulad na ngayon, yung isa hindi marunong mag-English, yung isa Filipino yung nakasanayan niya sa bahay nila. So, dapat dito, makonsider natin yung pagkakaiba nilang dalawang estudyante. Dapat kahit paano, marunong tayong mag-adjust sa mga ganong bagay. May mga laging mga second option. So, next. State objective. For you and your student to know where instruction is going and what is to be accomplished. The goals must be specified. Learning objectives match expected outcomes or standard. And next, develop metacognitive skill. The skills of selective monitoring, evaluating, and adjusting their approach enhance student learning and help to make them lifelong learners. Learners need assistance in understanding how they learn and what resources help in that process. And next, provide social interaction. Teacher and peers serving as a tutor or group of members can provide a number of pedagogical as well as a social support. Learners gain experience and expertise when collaborating with others in and beyond the classroom. Next. Incorporate realistic context. Learners are most likely to remember and to apply authentic knowledge presented learners in a real-world context. Rote learning leads to inert knowledge. That is, learners know something but cannot apply it to real life. Students benefit from understanding how their knowledge and skill fit into the world around them. Next, engage students in learning in relevant practice. The most effective learning experiences are those requiring learners to practice skills that build toward the desired outcome. Learner participation increases the probability of learning practices, especially in varying contexts, improve retention rate, and the ability to apply the new knowledge, skill, or attitude. Practice promotes deeper, longer-lasting learning. And last, offer frequent, timely, and constructive feedback. Student learning requires accurate information and misconceptions, misunderstanding, and weaknesses. Learners need to know if their thinking is on track. Feedback may come from a teacher, a tutor, electronics message from a computer, the scoring system of a game, or oneself. In addition to knowing that responses about are incorrect, students need to know why they have been unsuccessful and how they can improve their performance. Further, knowing details about their correct response in terms of how and why they are accurate helps students understanding more about what they have learned. So, next, principle of effective technology utilization. Teachers are expected to be competent in the use of technology in their teaching. This is especially true when working with 21st century learners are addressing the skill outlined for them, for which teachers not only need to use technology effectively on their teaching but also need to guide students in the using those tools to enhance their learning. The advent of newer technology requires critical decisions related to the best tools to integrate into teaching. Hmm, there we go. Um, the National Education Technology Standards for Student, or NETS, noted in the following list specifically outline expectation for student use of technology to guide their learning. So, nandito yung guide para sa mga estudyante na para gumamit ng technology. So, the first is creative and innovation. And sunod ay communication and collaboration, research and information fluency, critical thinking, problem solving and decision making, digital citizenship, and technology operation and concept. And many of these standards address the essential element for success in acquiring 21st century knowledge and skill. Teacher also have standard for acquiring this skill. So, hindi lang estudyante ang may standard, kundi ang teacher din. So, these are also provided by the ST. Kanina naman sa estudyante naman ay NETS. Dito naman sa ST. So, the first one is student learning and creativity. Dito mo makikita yung pagka-creativity ng estudyante mo. Sa natutunan niyang topic nyo. Kunyari, meron kayong pinapagawang mga design sa computer. So, dapat papasok dito yung creativity niya. Ganyan. Tsaka yung natutunan niya. So, the next one is digital age learning experience and assessments. And digital age work and learning. Digital citizenship and responsibility. Professional growth and leadership. So, yun lang. Yung anim na yun, yun yung competencies. So, as a teacher, you will be expected to enhance student abilities to engage in the use of technology to support their learning and address these 6 areas of competencies. So, sa ayun na nga yung dapat may expect mo na yung anim na competencies na yun ay maano ng estudyante mo. Then, also known as technology literacy skill. You can combine knowledge and skill related to the context areas in information and communication knowledge. So, next. For example, in a science lesson on whether you can present a problem to your students, that will require them to search websites for data or information, use communication tools to collaborate with outside experts, generate solution to the problem, collaborate with outside expert, generate solution to the problem collaboratively, and present their ideas to classmates using creative resources. So, nandun pumasok na rin yung anim na competencies. So, next, approaching your instruction in that manner, you have addressed many of the standards by which the student will be measured and will be given guide practice in developing their knowledge. So, that's the example for the 6 competencies. Next. Principle of effective media utilization. Need media literacy skills such as text, television, video, and hosts of the other media are all valid and vital sources of information. Furthermore, your teaching approach provides the student with opportunities to explore how to use these media resources surrounding them. So, wala masyadong dito na sa next. Principle of effective text utilization. Texts are everywhere in a student learning experience. Text material include textbook, fiction and notification books, newspaper, booklets, computer screen, magazines, study guides, manuals, and worksheets, as well as word process documents prepared by the student and teacher. Textbooks have long been the foundation of classroom instruction, and the other forms of technology and media discussed in these textbooks are frequently used in conjunction with a supplement to text-based materials. And last, the two aspects of to becoming literate is in the use of text as a part of the learning process are reading and writing. So, pakichat down yung dalawang yun. Reading and writing. Advantage. Availability, readily available on a variety of topics and in different formats. Flexibility, adaptable to many purposes and used in well-lit environment. Portability, easily carried from place to place but do not require any equipment or power supply. User-friendly, requiring no special effort to navigate through them. So next, and we have limitations. Reading level, memorization, vocabulary, one-way presentation, curriculum determination, and last, cursory appraisal. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 limitations that included in the text. Next. Integration. Teachers need to understand the best ways to use text to facilitate learning. Design good text-based material involve a few basic elements. The first one is font choice. Select a clear font that helps learners to read the information. Keep it simple and clean is the best when selecting fonts for your text material. Background and patterns. Use backgrounds that are not busy with distracting image. Arrangement. Use space and text style like bold and italics to help learner find the information quickly and easily. So parang i-highlight mo lang dito yung mga magagandang para tawag dito. Key points parang ganun, parang pinaka tawag dito, reviewer nila ganun. So check and revise. Always be sure to proofread your materials. You should also carefully review and be prepared to revise your phrasing of a certain vertical text such instruction. Siyempre, lagi mo check yung presentation mo, malay mo. Iba na yung nakalagay doon na nakasulat. Malay mo, puro ano na yun, mga jejemon na words. So, paano na yun? Siyempre, kailangan mo yung check. Tapos, pag may anong mali, edi i-revise mo na. So, next. Evaluation. As a teacher, we must consider the following. The first one is individual reading abilities and address their literacy levels. And last is address their materials. So, next. Ito na yung SQR3 method. Using text materials, SQR3 methods. So, dito na papasok yung first is survey stage. Sabi dito, this is an overview to establish a context, purpose, and expectation for reading. So, dun papasok yung survey mo doon sa kunyari, presentation mo, ganyan. may survey ka syempre doon dapat pagbabasehan. Tapos, pagtapos nun, dito ka napapasok sa question stage. Dito naman sa question stage, dito naman masasabi na based on your skimming and any prior knowledge you have on the topic. So, pagkakaano mo doon sa skimming, syempre may mga pagkadam sa survey stage, syempre may mga katanungan ka doon. So, sa mga tanong na yon, dito napapasok yung 3 R. So, dito napapasok yung read stage. This helps to identify critical information in the text. So, basa ka ng basa, tapos papasok ka na dun sa recite. Doon mo na i-recite yung parang memorization mo na yung isang kwento mo doon na paano ba ito? So, doon na papasok yung mga keyword na paulit-ulit mong i-repeat mo lang siya para pagdating mo sa pagdating mo sa quiz, ganun, maalala mo siya. So, dahil doon, papasok naman dito yung review. Dahil sa pag-ulit siya, recite mo ng recite, ulit ng mga word. So, dito na parang nire-review mo na siya doon. Doon na papasok yung review. So, sa kakaulit-ulit mo din, pagdating ng nangyari ng recitation, ready ka sa review, parang may key points ka na para doon. So, let's emphasize the use of visual in text materials and teach students to study visual in effort to increase their comprehension of the content. So, sa tulong ng SQR3 method, dito, matutulungan tayo ng mga maging mas comprehensive o mas malawak yung kaisipan natin doon sa darating na exam. So, yun. Doon na pumasok yung SQR2 method. So, ganun kahalaga ang SQR method sa technology utilization. So, yun. Thank you.